What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we'll be talking about Zcash, ZEC USD. It is the 28th day of October, and here we are with about 8 hours and 20 minutes left in the day, sitting at $326. We have pulled back, and that was the expectation in yesterday's video. You know, at the top, we were literally at like $360 in yesterday's video, calling for a pullback that would likely take us below $300, right? And that is the forecast still, is that we probably do go just below $300. What is $300, right? What is it? It's a psychological level. It's a significant level as far as rounded numbers go. But if we're looking at it here, $300, yes, you did stop like basically right here before, but it's not the most significant area. I would say the most significant area is probably here, where you've got this daily high close here twice, right there at about 292. Might it be perfect if you go right down to $292, because then you break the psychological support level that is $300. People FOMO because for some reason $304 is fine, but $296 is a problem. You know what I mean? That's how it is. People count on these levels whenever they don't really understand how price action works. They count on these levels to kind of be their arbiters of truth. They tell themselves right now, okay, I'll hold, but if it goes below $300, I'm going to sell. And then right there, you're actually selling at prior resistance. Prior resistance is a perfect area to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm sure most of you watching this video are not going to sell if the price goes down here, but the people that do, the panic sellers, just like there were some down here, they tend to sell at the worst time, and that's quite literally the worst time to sell. It's right at prior resistance there. So looking at this 4-hour time frame, we've got 17 minutes left. Looks like we pumped up and we came back down. I'm very confident. I'm absurdly confident that we will see prices, if not below $300, very, very near $300. Again, something that interacts with these highs here would be my expectation. But again, if we're looking at this for what it is, maybe it's better observed on the 4-hour time frame. Let's look at it on the 4-hour. If we're looking at this for what it is, this is an overall kind of broadening top pattern. You had a high here, and then your ascending lows, maybe as a wedge, whatever you want to call it, some kind of triangle pattern here. I think it was broadening because of this, right? If we delete this, it's broadening, but however you want to look at it, we've broken out. I think there's more of this move to go. I don't think we broke out and this is it, right? I don't think you consolidated for, what would that be, 2 weeks effectively. I don't think you consolidated for 2 weeks to just see this, right? I think that you have more to go. But first, and it's very common with consolidation phases, you break out, you back test prior resistance for support, and then you continue. That's the call right now. It's very simple. We look at the 1-hour time frame here. You guys hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, by the way. I forgot to say that. I think $327 here. 1-hour time frame. The RSI does agree with what I'm saying, is that we're going to go lower. We have lower highs and lower lows. We're in a bit of a channel down. We just rejected here between the 60 and the 50. Kind of an uncommon area to reject for most charts, but let's just see. You found support here before, so that's significant enough. You found resistance right there, and just below it right there. Support right there. I guess you like this level, the 55 level. I guess you do. That's something to keep in mind on the 1-hour time frame. Just because you like it on the 1 hour doesn't mean you like it on all time frames, but maybe. I would very much expect that we go lower. And just looking at the given trajectory here, I mean, it's to be expected that we'll hit the oversold zone probably today. So good news. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Good news. We're probably going to see $300 or lower today. So then tomorrow we can actually recover and bounce. That's great. That's great, because tomorrow we have the FOMC announcement. The next day we have President Trump and President Xi meeting to discuss trade agreements, hopefully beneficial to the economy and beneficial to the markets. Good. That's good. Get done with your... You'd rather it be done, right? You'd rather see this... Imagine from a high to a low here. Imagine this move took all this time. Then all this building you had to do, you wouldn't have seen the move up until later, is all I'm trying to say, right? The fact that it happened fast is a good thing. You want these moves to be fast, because the faster they are, the harder they are, the louder they are, the more that people who aren't convicted or who don't have conviction or faith in this play, they'll panic sell. You want people to panic sell, because then it gives strong hands an opportunity to load up, and you want the strong hands to load up because that's what sends the price higher, right? They suck up the supply, and that supply shock comes in. It really drives the price higher. So good, push lower immediately. I hope by the time you guys are watching this video, we're at $300 or lower. Probably not, though. It'll probably be, I would guess, toward the end of today, if not very early tomorrow, Wednesday. And then once you find that resolution, you should be moving up higher. Stochastics rejecting the overbought zone, suggesting that we go lower. You flipped green, but who cares? Sometimes you do that and you move down. The 1-hour MACD sucks. 4-hour time frame, looking at the RSI here. We do have a nice uptrend. Okay, very, very clear uptrend here. But again, we can go lower and still prevail. So this uptrend still can prevail. We can go lower here, bounce off the 40, and the uptrend still prevails. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Again, this actually details exactly what I'm saying, that I think we're in the midst of a move that overall will take us higher. You're just, pulling back in the midst of this move, right? That's all it is. You just started this move, so you're just getting an initial pullback, and then you're going to continue to rally. Stochastics would agree with the idea that going lower is fine, right? You could bounce here. It's not common to bounce here, but you've bounced here before. You can bounce here. I would just think we go a little bit lower. So again, going into the end of the day, the beginning of tomorrow, we should see some downside. 4-hour MACD is crossing down. Overall, very positive, but you can go lower. All these indicators are really saying the same thing, I think. You look great, you look good, you've got more to go to the upside, but you can go lower and still be okay. So likely you do go lower, I think. Looking at the daily time frame here, I wonder, there's got to be Zcash on here, right? We've got to have ZEC. Let's see, Zcash. What are the shorts to longs there? Just on Binance and Bybit. Over the 30 days, let's see, a lot of longs over the past 30 days. Not so many shorts, but over the past day, 24 hours, you do have more shorts than longs. That's good. Pile on those shorts. Give us some reasons to squeeze and move higher. Looking at the daily time frame, zooming out a little bit so we can fit the price action on the chart here. It's crazy that we're in log. It looks like we're not in log, but we are in log. You were just so boring for so long. A good bit of volume coming in. The RSI looks spectacular. It really does look good. I think what we're getting set up for here is a move down to the overbought zone, and then we bounce just like we did over here. Okay. And typically, whenever you get that kind of result, you get some spectacular growth, right? Look at this, just in respects of this. Okay. To this move here, this was nice, right? Getting into the overbought zone here was nice, but this was a little bit faster, right? It looks the same. It looks to be about the same size. Let's just see, from a low here to a high here. From the low to high. I guess this is bigger overall, but I feel like this move, it's bigger and it's faster just with how you moved up here. And that was all from the bounce off the overbought zone. I think we're getting set up for that here, where in this kind of respect, the move up might be something like this from a low to a high. Maybe not. It might be from this low to this high right here. And in which case, I think we could expect continuation. That'd probably take us above $500. Wow. So and you're probably going to go a little bit lower. Sorry, I might have misspoke. Let me see. Yeah, you're probably going to go right to $500. I wouldn't be surprised at all if your next target was $500 or somewhere around there. Let's look at this from a high to a low. 397 is the golden ratio. Once you break above the golden ratio at $397, you're basically home free to 450 to 635. $500 is right in the heart of this zone. If we're measuring that way, I would say honestly you probably do go above 540. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised in the least if within the next 5 days we saw that price come to fruition. Something that's just above $540 there. If not over the next couple of days, then certainly some point early in November. I'm still waiting to see what happens. I think, and this is something that everybody investing in crypto should be aware of, right? We're really heavily anticipating some interesting price action over the next couple of days. The 29th and the 30th, both significant, right? President Xi, President Trump meeting, FOMC meeting, interest rates being cut. Typically, we pump up into these bullishly perceived events, and then once the good news comes out, we sell off, right? Why do you sell on good news? Because it's priced in already. Imagine that the price is here and you get good news. Oh, well, that should send the price higher, right? But that's not what's happening. The price isn't here. The price, right? You get the good news. Oh, the price should go higher. Really what happens is the news is anticipated to come out here, right? It's anticipated to come out on this day right here. So back here, when people are aware of the event that's coming up, they buy the hype, they sell the news, and you think that you would think that the price moves up, but the reality is the price already moved up. So once the news comes in, we sell off typically. So again, just the idea here being that we move up going into this event, we'll probably sell off afterwards. Zcash has kind of been doing its own thing, so it is possible that it keeps pumping, but again, I am kind of curious. Are we going to be at $540, $500? Are we going to be somewhere in that range in the next 5 days? Or do we move up the next couple of days going into these events, consolidate a little bit because we have the sell-off, the sell the news event pressure, and then do we continue later? I'm kind of curious to see. If we don't see $500 or more in the next 5 days, we're going to see it within the next 2 weeks. Very confident on that, okay? Very, very confident. Anyways, looking at the daily indicators, what is going on here? Why won't it let me? Looking at the daily indicators here, again, expecting a bounce right off the overbought zone. Stochastics are just getting overbought, which is nice here. And the MACD looks phenomenal. It looks really good here. Bearish divergence though, C-Zar. Yeah, but no, not really. It's fine, right? You've kind of reset. I think that you're ready to go. You're just building momentum now. And then if we zoom out, we are on Coinbase. Let's actually use something that has more historical data than Coinbase. We'll look at the monthly time frame here. And just understand where you are, right? What you have is a very rare situation here, okay? Triple bottoms, a lot of people hope for triple bottoms, but they never actually happen. Triple bottoms typically do actually fail, right? But this is a triple bottom. And everybody's heard of double bottoms. Everybody's heard of double tops. The reason why you don't hear of triple bottoms or triple tops is because they are rare. They're very rare. They're not rare to see. They're rare to succeed. Anybody can see a triple bottom or a triple top happen, but do they actually come to fruition? Do they actually bounce or reject? That's less common, right? We've seen these situations where you have three lows, but I'm getting tied up in the details here. All I'm trying to say is this is a very powerful pattern. A lot of people, because triple bottoms are far less common than double bottoms are or single bottoms are, people are not aware that they are dramatically more bullish, right? You typically, and I mean, the results speak for themselves. Whenever we get above, and if we look past the triple bottom here, we look at this kind of W setup that we're looking at right now. Whenever you get above this point here, you should basically skyrocket, I think, all the way up to this high point here. I would think that's your next kind of very significant area of consolidation. When I say very significant, I mean like this is not that significant, right? What we're doing here over the past like 24 hours, pulling back, that's not that significant, right? The pullback that we're calling for below $300 is not significant. The next multi-week kind of consolidation phase that we're going to expect, I would think happens all the way up at something around here and probably just above this price. Let's see. Probably just above 900. So $1,000. You're at $329 with the serious prospects to move up to about $1,000 and maybe even just beyond there. You'll consolidate and then you'll continue to rally, right? More significant consolidation, then you'll continue to rally. That's the expectation. Looking at this here, let's take this high to low. High to low right here. The 1272 is right there. So, I mean, to be completely fair, you could find direct resistance right at that level. Maybe you don't go above it. It's more common, I think, to go above it. And in which case, if you do, perhaps we go as high as like $1,400 to $1,500. But something between, let's say, $900 to $1,500 is what I would expect Zcash does. Certainly by the end of this year, but probably by the end of November, if I really had to guess. And then you probably consolidate a little bit, maybe for the you know, if you get up here in like the halfway point in November, you consolidate for the rest of November going into December, and then you pump however it works, but you're probably going to have a significant consolidation phase up here, right? Zcash breaks this, it breaks this, everybody thinks it's unstoppable, it's going to the moon, and that's when you get a reality check. You're boring, you're put on pause because you just saw a fantastic move. People take profits, they put them in coins that haven't moved up yet, you know, yada yada, just reasons to consolidate here, right? That's the expectation overall. And really, I fully anticipate that Zcash will get above $1,000, will get above $1,500. We will see a $2,600 price at a minimum, potentially something as high as like $10,000 or even above that by the end of the cycle. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said enough as it is. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. You're very overbought on your weekly RSI, right? You're very, very, very overbought. So move up a little bit more, sure, but then whenever you consolidate, you come back down to cool off. That's not going to be a problem, okay? It's okay. You're very hot. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you want to buy Zcash, you want to catch the next rip, that's great. That's fine. It will happen. In time, it will happen for sure. But there are a bunch of altcoins that I think are not at this point yet, right? Where there's a bunch that are here. Why buy a coin that's here? You know what I mean? Like why buy the coin that's already in the midst of its pump whenever there's a bunch of other ones? So even though we've got higher price targets, that's more for the people holding Zcash. I'm not really trying to encourage people to FOMO in at the top here. But if you want to FOMO in, I'd say anything below $300 is safe game, honestly. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.